quite a while.
Okay, so it looks like we're getting to Street Fighter 5.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Punk versus Infexious
Yes.
match.
Now
So
you guys are welcome to stick around and just
Oh.
hang out and watch that. But I mean, again, I know you guys live kind of far away and stuff, so you guys are welcome to hang out here for a little bit. What is Marn doing here?
Hey, what up, Marn? They're bringing him for the hype, huh? So, well, thank you, James. I don't know yo, what up, Arcade Candy Co. You should get some pins here for James Chen to promote. He'd love one of our Arcade Candy Co. He makes enamel pins that are really sweet on arcade stuff. I think he's given.
Are they the ones that make the little cabinet?
Yeah, the panels. Did you get?
I
some?
have a bunch of them downstairs.
Oh,
I think.
nice. Okay.
I don't know if it's the same one that makes the pins that are like look like the candy cabinets and stuff.
the Vulix panels.
Yeah. Oh,
okay, so
maybe it's the same one. Okay,
Sweet.
okay.
Okay, we'll check it out.
Yeah.
Hey, but shout outs to VV Collective, yeah.
Okay. But like I said, you guys are welcome to stick around. I don't know if you guys want to take off or...
What do you feel like?
I don't really know much about Street Fighter 5. I've never played it. Actually, that's not true. I played Godlike Scrub for like 5 minutes once.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I know how to watch it. So
I guess
I got no plans for a while.
Maybe we'd be the novice players because I do like punk and Infectious.
Okay.
So, but keep on talking, James, and then we'll just hey, what for the beginners? If this was not a beginner one, then we'd probably leave.
Okay, fair enough.
So we have.
What's interesting to me, I mean, right away, let's just start with a little bit of background history for a lot of the people that aren't familiar with it. You know, Punk, one of the best in the country right now, one of the best in the world. At one point in time, a lot of people thought he was the best. Infectious, obviously, he's been doing super well. Got second place at the Red Bull Kumite, which is where I did the first beginner stream. What's interesting about this is Infectious he used to be like a Zangief player in 4, and now he's going with Zeku. He's been playing Zeku for a long time. The interesting thing right now is that Punk looks like he's playing Poison.
Yeah, he's kind of taking the infamous match between him and Idom, where kind of his invincibility kind of got shot, which is like Poison was the character that beat his character that Idom would switch to throw him off his game, right?
And so it's really interesting to me that he's going with Poison, but I mean, this is kind of an indication now of how strong people do consider Poison. So what I'm going to do is shut off that camera.
Is there somewhere I can get a drink?
Oh, yeah. I've got root beer, I've got Pepsi, I've got 7-Up.
I will make my choice when I get over there.
Okay.
Do you want anything?
Good.
Yeah, I'll get a root beer, please. Thank you so much, James. Appreciate that. Thanks for having us on here to hang out on
I
a...
also want like 2-week-old cake.
Yeah.
I've got a root beer, like I said, Pepsi. I've got 7-Up here as well.
Yeah, root beer or
I've also
7-Up.
got some
Yeah.
green tea ginger ale here as well.
I'm probably good with just root beer, actually.
Okay. Here's this for you.
Thanks, James. I really appreciate that.
No
Oh,
problem. It's
yeah.
the least I can do to
don't
offer
be.
this. So.
No, this is...
No, I mean, I don't have Pepsi. I have Coke. Coke, are you serious
There you
right
go.
now? Oh my gosh.
No Red Bull. Red Bull, please sponsor.
Yeah.
We would be putting Red Bull on this if we had any Red Bull.
That's my inside joke all the time. Coke, are you serious right now? I have to say that every time.
So kudos to Daigo. I'm waiting for Daigo to put on a mahjong, Japanese mahjong stream.
Dude.
And I can commentate on that.
Dude,
because
I know.
I just won my my first. No, I actually won a monthly Japanese mahjong tournament.
Dang,
just
nice.
early this week.
Nice. I mean, I
Very
love
proud of
mahjong,
that.
but I play more on Taiwan rules. But I've been playing mahjong since I was like, my parents and my grandma taught us how to play mahjong. We were like
Nice.
7 years when I was like 6 or 7 years old. Oh man, I
All
want
right,
to do
maybe
it.
a mahjong stream might be coming
Yeah,
up.
I hope if Daigo does a mahjong stream, I hope he flies me out for commentary.
Daigo and Bonchan, if you're hearing this, mahjong, please. We'll commentate. We've got
Icarus's ears perking up. I heard Jones.
that's right. Shoutouts to Icarus and the John crew, and Icarus is the Discord.
Okay, so Street Fighter 5. It's going to be really interesting to see these two go up against each other. Weirdly enough, these two guys are both so good at Street Fighter, yet they haven't really had... I guess they haven't really officially played each other.
They've just been missing each other.
They just never ran into each other officially in the tournament. But Punk obviously is one of the best players, and again, for those of people who are joining in right now, obviously I'm doing a restream. This is officially sanctioned by Daigo's crew, and it's for a different intention, a different audience, to be a more beginner-friendly match and point out some of the more interesting things that are going on. So I know there is an English stream somewhere. I can't remember where, but if it's out there, you guys can watch that if you want more of the traditional commentary. But here I'm going to talk about more things like, obviously, Poison is going to be one of those characters that wants to keep you out a little bit more. She has the great range on the whips like that, and she's got the stance right here. And the stance, what's interesting about that is she has to decide whether she's going to whip straight or up, or low when she activates it. And then when she releases it, she can, she's committed to that direction. But she can dash around, and it makes it really hard to be chased down in that situation. And then Zeku, when he's in old mode, you can see every time he does this puff of smoke and he changes to a different looking character, which looks like Strider, actually.
Yeah. Strider.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. He is an old mode. Old mode is supposed to be more zoning, but Infexious was just rushing him down right there, which is crazy. And then Strider mode is young Zeku, and that's where he actually plays more rushdown style. So he's a stance character, as we call it, a stance switch character.
Yeah, kind of like Gen, right? Gen.
Yeah. And actually, Poison kind of is that way too, because she does have the... Oh, it didn't kill.
Oh, did it kill?
It didn't kill. Oh my gosh. I don't think this is a character lock, but I'm going to put in my is it going to kill emote in the chat right there. So I don't know if this is character locked here. By the way, for those people who don't know, I have a couple of new emotes here. I've got Chen Nuts, which is just a bunch of mixed nuts.
Oh yeah, look at those nuts. I see a pecan and a cashew in there. Yum.
And I've also got a Chen.
Get in there,
just
everybody.
like a fa. So there you go. So it's FUUU. So there you go.
Get those nuts, everybody. Look at those nuts that you just want to suck on.
Exactly. Oh no! Someone broke apart my cat emote. I actually, my Nathan loves belly rubs, so I actually created a slew of 6 emotes to put together for a full
cat
belly rub.
That's really good.
But again, what's interesting about a character like Zeku is that he does have the ability to play in both modes, and so he's as a character, he's gotten a nice unique position that he can kind of do both. He can do rush down and he can do far, and it's what's cool about that is that you'll actually see a lot of different players when they play Zeku, which mode they go with. A lot of times you'll be like, oh, he'll probably go with this one on this character, and then he'll against Poison he'll obviously go with the rush down one.
Okay, trying to get in.
But then when you watch some people play, they do it in all these different orders. They're like the different players who use Zeku will use the different stances in unexpected ways, and it's one of my favorite things about people playing Zeku. But we saw Punk there taking game number 1.
Okay. And, is this another first to 15?
Someone's saying first to 10.
I think this will be 10,
okay.
Just because 5 is a lot slower than Super Turbo.
Fair enough.
And especially if it goes to 19 games. Oh boy. Okay, so the Bushin flip right there from Zeku was an interesting move because you actually have the option of hitting behind or forward or going with a throw. So it's kind of a mix-up built into that move by itself. So he tried to go behind. And see there, the elbow hits behind. But Punk is doing a good job shutting that down because Poison's crouching medium punch is one of the best anti-air buttons in the game. That thing is so good. And a lot of people at first, when they were using Poison, thought her other V-Trigger, her V-Trigger 2 would be the better one that has the full-screen command grab and the point-blank command grab. And the Molotovs, when you throw out there, it just kind of hits the floor, and if you're standing on it, you lose health as you go.
Oh, okay.
But Idom was the one who really popularized V-Trigger 1 because in that one combo that she does where she hits you with the Molotov and then starts whipping you a bunch of times and then Molotov and then whipping you a bunch of times. The thing is, both of those Molotovs stack, and even though she's whipping you and you're kind of in the air, you're still getting roasted by both of them.
Wow.
So you lose all this damage while you're getting hit by that combo, and because those are Molotovs and those aren't combos, they don't scale.
Oh,
so
not scalable.
Yeah, so it actually turns out that, you know, Idom was just draining 40% of life from somebody, you know, with that one combo.
Just
and
holding them in place with the whip.
Yeah.
And then, like, the Molotov.
and it's like, why is this doing so much damage? It's because the Molotovs are just burning the entire time. If you guys want the game audio a little higher, I could definitely do that for you guys. I mean, every character got a new V skill, and it doesn't look like that's what Infectious is going with. So the V skill 1 is just a move that hits and automatically transforms him into the other stance. But he's got options to be able to side switch you. The second one makes it so that he can throw like bird bombs and stuff at you, almost kind of like the. So the weird lore. I don't know if it's a joke or they just decided to do this, but Zeku is a guy's master.
Okay.
So that's why he has the run stuff in this mode. But the lore is that apparently he's the first Strider. He created the entire Strider clan. And so that's why in this mode he... Oh, that's going to kill him. Yeah, that's it. He's dead.
Nice.
And that's why when he's in old Zeku, he does that kick, and it actually makes the Strider sword noise. So you hear the... Shing! Yeah, you actually hear that. And it's the gram, so it actually...
No, that's fine.
Yeah, it's actually the same. It's actually the same. Yeah, this microphone is like completely blocking Frenetic's face here.
Oh,
yeah.
hey. Okay. All right. We can
scoot in a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll just
there
scoot
you
in. Hey, everybody. All right, cool. All right.
Okay. That's the danger right there of using the gram for Zeku, though, is if, you know, it does have a lot of recovery. If the opponent does manage to jump over it, you can do a ton of damage. Obviously, jump-ins are huge in Street Fighter. A lot of the times, players won't realize this because you block a jump-in, and you're like, okay, well, I blocked it and I'm safe.
Yeah.
But literally blocking the jump-in is what caused you to lose all of your life.
Oh.
You know, because when you get a jump-in, you get so much pressure. And when you get a jump-in and it lands, then you get these big old combos. So, see, there you go.
Yeah.
And that's the mix-up that Zeku has off of those Bishin flips, is it's hard to tell if it's left or right.
Yeah, look at all that red light. Just going.
And now close to stun, and that's why he's going to V-reversal. In case you don't know, V-reversals drain your stun meter a little bit too. It just actively drains the stun meter, and so even after that big old damage combo from Infectious, he's going to end up losing that round. But yeah, that's why it's so important in Street Fighter V to not let the opponent jump in on you, because like I have terrible anti-air. I have terrible reactions to it. I've gotten better at it, but a lot of matches when I'll play online and people are watching me play, I'll get jumped on. I'm like, this is why I'm dying, because I'm not anti-airing people.
Just to get them off you, and then so they can't complete their not even complete their combo, but they're getting in on you.
Yeah, and it's the free pressure they get. One of the things about fighting games is always plus frames, minus frames. People talk about this a lot. If you have plus frames, it means you have advantage over your opponent.
You can press a button immediately after you...
Yeah, you get a head start. I always call it like a head start in a race.
Oh,
if your moves are races, so this move takes 10 frames to come out, this move takes 7 frames to come out. Well, if the 10 frame move gets a 4 frame head start, then it will actually beat the 7 frame.
Because it'll be 6 frames.
Right, exactly. So that's kind of how you want to see that. That's how you want to understand it. I always say, think of frames as time. Think of frames as time. And so whenever you're -2, that means the opponent has 2 frames to move before you. And that's the problem. But the thing about it is, oh, did he get him? Oh, he got him.
Okay.
If you block a jump in, jumps cause the most frame advantage out of almost anything. So if you block a jump heavy kick, you're just like in a -11 situation. And so the opponent has so much time to set up a mix-up on you. And that's how you want to understand, you know, why advantage and disadvantage is so important. Also, another thing, guys, in the chat, if you guys want to ask me a question, like I said, I'm here to answer all sorts of beginning questions, any beginner kind of questions for anybody. just let me know. And what I will do is make sure you at me in the chat, at jchensor, or use that message highlighter. I'm willing to do either one of those. And yeah, a lot of people have been noticing this right now, but Infectious's jump timing has been very effective. And that is the weakness in general of Poison, is that her normal moves are very, very long. Oh yeah, you're welcome, Aeronex. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, doesn't matter really, so... Okay, and see right there.
Ooh, okay.
So what's happening right there is the reason why, Infectious was able to take that was, he had the big life lead. And, a lot of times when I commentate and I actually say stuff like, oh, this person has a life lead, a lot of times people who are watching and who are good at fighting games always be like, why do you point out these obvious things? And it's because it determines so much of how you want to play your match. So in that situation there, Infectious had such a life lead that Punk can't play the keep away game anymore. So he got hit by the Graham, but then immediately dashed forward again because he just wanted to be aggressive, but Infectious was ready for it. But the only reason why Punk had to dash forward there is because he was down in life so much. Do we know if the next Street Fighter will be on Xbox? We have no idea. We have no idea.
Ooh, look at that.
And there's that mix-up again. So
And stun.
Yep. A lot of people have been saying like they were imagining that Punk would kind of win this for free. Wow, he spent everything he had to try to kill, and it couldn't kill. Wow. And remember, there's no chip death in this. And if he gets hit right now, if Punk hits him,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
But see, he had that V trigger. If Punk had hit him and see all that life there, he would have hit into the Molotov, into the whip, in the Molotov, in the whip, and he probably would have died. He probably would have died.
Yeah, so it's still close.
It wasn't safe yet. It wasn't safe yet. And, this might be just a situation people are asking in the chat, why isn't Punk picking Karen, who's his best character? A lot of times the players want to pick other characters, learn other characters to learn where you can take advantage of them. Losing the item meant he probably was like, you know what, I want to figure out how this character works, where the holes are. Because one of the things that's hard to do when you play against these characters, I was actually going to, talk about this on my stream hopefully next week, is this whole idea of understanding attack vectors and knowing which directions characters want to attack you from. Poison, she attacks from far away. She's also got that flip kick, whereas someone like Zeku, when he changes, he can attack from all sorts of different directions and angles. And when he's in old mode, if he wants to do that Bushin flip, that's a whole completely different direction to attack from. And you learn these things a lot more as you play as the character. You start understanding the direction that you want to go in. And a lot of people have talked about Poison's new V skill, where you see her do that little somersault.
Yeah.
Really, really powerful tool that she has, because it helps her set up a bunch of mix-ups. Like if she anti-airs with her crouching medium punch and cancels into it, she kind of puts herself in a very ambiguous side.
Okay, so more mix-ups.
Yeah.
That are available with that.
Oh, that's punishable.
Ooh.
And that's rare. That's rare that you see Punk miss a hit confirm like that. Usually if he knows... Usually what you do... So the reason why hit confirms are so crucial is you'll try to find a 1 or 2 button sequence that on block is safe, that you cannot be punished. Maybe you lose your turn or something like that, but you can't be punished. But that way, if it gets blocked, you stop.
Okay.
But if you see that you hit them, you continue your combo, and then you can do the damage from there. But Punk, for some reason, finished the combo even on block, because a lot of times you have to finish combos into moves that are very unsafe on block. It's very rare that somebody has a special move that's the standard combo ender and also safe on block at the same time. And so hit confirms become very important for that reason. Alright, so that's the reason why Infectious wants to stay with V skill 1. So that V skill 1 has the ability to hit you and then make you change to the other form, but side switch.
Oh, okay.
And so while Infectious was in the corner, he hit him with that and then side switch to put
get out.
Punk in the corner.
To get out. And also put Punk in the corner so he can
Yeah, and
attack him.
Again, I talked about space control and forward movement in footsies last week on my stream, and it's so
Wow.
you just don't know what side to block.
So is that based on spacing, or is it like a follow-up that chooses which side you're on?
I think it's ambiguous enough that if he hits the one that hits forward, he'll stay on the front, and if he hits the one that hits behind, it goes to the other side.
Okay.
So
it's like you choose when you input the move. It's not based on the spacing necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
and,
cool.
And the reason why he could land that is because he got the crush counter on the sweep. So if you get the counter hit on the sweep, it's a crush counter. They can't quick rise and they can't back roll. So that's a free mix up against them.
And then you can Infectious did an EX move, so you could actually
Yeah.
flip it, right?
So the EX Bushin flip makes it hard to tell which side you're gonna be on. If it was other knockdowns, you can quick rise. And then you can't really set that mix-up up. It's very obvious which way to block. So which fighting games do you play, Frenetic?
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I play ST, Street Fighter V a little bit, Third Strike a little bit, but my main game when I was during the day was Samurai Showdown 4.
Oh, nice. Have you tried the new Sam show?
Yeah, I
Awesome,
like it. Yeah.
Awesome.
I haven't been playing it as much, but usually I go to Oryx and I'll play. Like I said, I was playing some of the handsome boys on ST, and it's been kind of fun playing them. So yeah.
What's interesting about this, though, I mean, I saw it in High Fight's chat. He's High Fight in the chat. Shout out to High Fight again. He says that High Fight said that there is no character switch, that they're locked on the character.
Okay.
So, High Fight, one of the most essential people to follow in the fighting game community on Twitter. So, if you have not followed High Fight, you are making a terrible mistake. That was a nice confirm into the V trigger. Let's see. Who are your two friends, if I don't mind me asking? This is Frenetic and Soft Drink. You can see on the top, right over here. They are experts at shoot 'em ups. And so I brought them on here to help with the Battle Garega section, and that was really great. I was so happy because I did not know anything that was going on. There was so much detail going on there that I had no idea. But yeah, you can see this. I mean, we had kind of a wash in the first one where Kotaka Shoten blew up Kurahashi, and it feels like we're having kind of the same kind of situation here. And what's interesting to me, like I said, I would have imagined going with young Zeku because you'd want to rush down Poison. But the nice thing about old Zeku is that the Gram, that move that he's using, which is basically the Strider swing, sword swing, is kind of outpacing Poison's range. So he's actually taking away Poison's strength completely from that character.
I mean the whip attack that Poison has, right?
Yeah, but here we go again. Didn't spend the second half.
Okay.
Yeah, going to set up the throw mix-up here. Okay, here's the second one. And that's going to be a stun. And he's going to burn a little when he stands up. So there you go. I saw a couple of other questions in the chat that I missed over here. Let me see here. There are Toho fighters, which are hybrids of fighters. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Senran... No, not that one. That one's a different game.
Phantasmagoria Flower View is a Toho game.
Well,
Twinkle Star
the
Sprites.
one that came out as
Phantasmagoria is
War
like
Tech or something.
Oh, okay. Senko no Ronde.
That's the one. Yeah.
They call it Senkoro.
Cinco no Ron
Yeah.
is great.
I actually have that. I actually have that game. Yeah,
wanna
because I
play?
wanted to play that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's good. I just got into it recently, but at Climb Cancel they had a Mecha mystery tournament, and that was in there.
Oh, nice.
That was really fun. That was a good tournament.
And it's really interesting too because between the two players, Punk is always so cocky. You know, he's very loud, and Infectious is super quiet and super still. So it's interesting to have a clash of those kind of personalities as well.
Did the Molotov keep burning there even during the throw?
Might have if it was low enough. I'm
Wow.
not. I think that you keep getting burned during the whole thing.
That's kind of gross.
Oh, can that be a whip punish? No, too far.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. But he's still going to get the hit into the critical art. And I'm going to ask
gonna
this
kill?
again.
Is
Is
that
this
gonna
going to kill? Is this going to kill? No! Okay, so no extra damage during the throw. Yeah, there you go. But then the ambiguous jump in right there.
So you can see like where cross-ups in this game kind of lives, right? Like,
Yeah.
And
Cross-ups are very powerful in this game because if it's ambiguous enough, you're not sure which direction to block.
in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially with Zeku, right? Zeku's like...
Yeah, Zeku almost kind of specializes in that kind of thing. But yeah, young Zeku's advantage is that button right there, that standing heavy punch,
Okay.
has a follow-up that you can do heavy punch and then he swings again into another heavy punch. But again, by itself, it's very confirmable. So you can throw out the one heavy punch, and if it hits, you can chain it late enough that you can just confirm into the combo. Because if you do heavy punch, the second one is punishable on block.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So you don't want to... Okay.
You don't want to do the second one, but the hit stun, the block stun on it is long enough, and the window to chain into the next one is big enough that you can throw one out, see it hit, and then hit heavy punch and cancel into a special afterwards.
Wow.
But if it's blocked, you can do nothing.
And then they'll be in hit stun enough where you can... Just
And then the single hit is safe enough on block that you cannot be punished. Okay. So that's really good. And then also young Zeku's, the standing medium punch is also just a really, really good button as well. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. A lot of people in the chat are talking about, like, maybe Punk is kind of sandbagging on this, but, people who have watched a lot of Punk streams recently will have to let me know if that's actually the case or if he has been playing a lot of Punk at this point.
Yeah.
I've heard that with fireballs that people react to, the character twitching and jump. Is that why people jab with feints? Yeah, or fireball truly unreactable? No, a lot of people will fake with fireballs, and that's why it's more than just a fake with light punch. A lot of times in the old games, people would fake by actually doing quarter circle forward plus light kick.
Oh, wow.
Because that wouldn't generate the fireball, but you would still see the crouching and standing slight walking animation.
Okay.
And what people didn't realize is that they just thought that, that's what they were reacting to. They didn't realize they were reacting to that. Also, on side-by-side cabinets, you see the opponent's hand churning, and you didn't realize it. You know what I mean? You didn't realize. You just see it out of the corner of your eye,
Like,
and then you just end up, the overhead stun. Ryu also actually had the fake fireball command in alpha. Yes, he did. He did. But it was on the start button, and depending on the cabinet, it was hard to find the button. But yeah, what's interesting right now is that Infexious is just kind of... So this is interesting, right? So Punk's not looking happy about this, right? So normally if he was kind of sandbagging or if he was just kind of chilling or whatever like that, he's probably smiling and, whatever. But at this point in time, I think he is actually kind of concerned.
Yeah.
I'm not
He's
sure.
getting kind of shook.
Like I said, if people
they're in Japan right now, right?
Yeah.
I doubt Punk, I doubt Punk would go to Japan just to sandbag, right? That's...
Yeah. And Fish Taco said it earlier, too. He does look like he's playing scared, and it really does look like he's being shut down a lot. Yeah, and he is stuck with the character. But like I said, I don't know if people in the chat know if he has been playing this character for a lot on stream or anything. I think that's just the nature of the Kemonomichi, is that it's kind of just a character lock kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, it's concepts, being played out, right? Like, what if, these questions are being answered.
It's interesting because Punk is hitting a lot of buttons when Infectious gets in right now. And maybe it's because he was being very passive. Oh, really? Okay. So I guess there was supposed to be an audience that could come and watch, but Corona actually ruined that. Oh, God, Infectious is just... Like, I hate to say this kind of thing because obviously... You want to be able to have more insight, than just saying this, but Infexious is just hitting all the right buttons.
Oh, hey, it's Kyobi.
Oh, man. Oh, hey, what's up, Kyobi?
Yo, Kyobi. Shout-outs to... I used to room with them at Evo's.
Oh, really? Dang, nice.
We do a road trip together, so shout-outs to Kyobi.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is, like I said, he is stopping Punk from coming forward. He has crush counter with that heavy kick so many times. I think that's 8-1 already.
Wow.
Like I said, it's crazy for me because I want to give this more of a like an analytical kind of discussion here, but what's really happening is it just really feels like Punk isn't one as familiar with his character and might not be familiar with the matchup. And Man of Peerless Might does say that he has been putting time in with Poison, but it's just not working out. Okay, so there we go.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
Come
so
on.
Poison Punk getting the right timing and finally getting his own crush counter in that situation. I mean, let's see if he was just taking a while to warm up here. But you see that stance cancel from Poison. It's very similar to Johnny from Guilty Gear, that she can cancel into the whip stance where she holds the whip above her head with her back facing you. And she can hit another button, a kick button, and cancel it. Like that. So you see that stance right there. She can kick and cancel it.
Oh.
So she can actually apply pressure by like doing heavy punch into whip stance cancel, heavy punch into whip stance cancel, to try to apply pressure. But, I mean, finally it looks like this is one of the first rounds that Punk has actually started winning a little bit of the neutral. But let's see if it's just that one round. Sometimes you can find that one round. And now it looks like Infectious it might be going with young Zeku, because one of the nice things about being Zeku is if you feel like they're figuring out one of your stance's strategies, you can switch to the other stance.
To set them off
Yeah.
if they've got them figured out, right? If you
But-
feel like they're figuring you out.
Being able to switch mid-combo seems also extremely valuable.
Yeah.
Because it gives you access to a totally different
this-
moveset.
Ooh.
And what's interesting about that, too, is Punk is typically one of the best players that exist in terms... Oh, you see, had the ambiguous setup again. Punk is one of the best in terms of reading when opponents want to shimmy or when to hit a button. He's always really, really good at that, but it's... Right now, Infectious is literally just outplaying him in that situation. Okay, that's good range right there. Yeah, he's playing everybody, I'm sure. I'm sure, Man of Peerless Might. Oh, okay. Gets a throw here. And I would like to see Punk win this. But, you know, the interesting thing about it is the way that Punk is playing, I mean, it's just that crouching heavy punch over and over and over again. He's really not doing much more than that.
Like different moves to vary. Like how... like in the ST match, they had a lot of tools and normals to kind of throw off and get in, right?
And Punk's gameplay looks very stale. It's just stance, and he's just trying to maintain this position. He's not really changing up his distances or, you know, trying to go in. It's a very interesting kind of situation. Now, Poison does do well by keeping you out. Like I said, that is her play style. And he does have the life lead right now, so he doesn't actually need to go in at this point. So it seems like it's working fairly decently at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Is this going to kill?
No, is this gonna
I don't think
kill?
so.
No,
Oh,
not
okay,
quite. Not quite. But see, even right there, after the critical art hit, you know, Punk did crouching heavy punch and it whiffed. Like, I wonder, like, he has to know after the super that crouching heavy punch was going to whiff, or if he just thought that Infectious was going to try to run forward. I'm not sure.
A little savage right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anti-airs are hard.
All right, so now you see after trying to go with young Zeku for a while. Okay, now Punk is getting the jump in timings. He's starting to read the momentum maybe, or read the kind of timing pattern. And that was a beautiful empty jump from Infectious. Now, Poison's crouching medium punch is one of the best anti-airs. Does not have a lot of horizontal range.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't stick a leg out, there's nothing to hit.
Or if
You
they're
know.
not on that angle for a
Yeah.
jump in, like it won't connect.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay.
Man of Peerless Might, this match is happening literally right now. I'm restreaming this off of Daigo the Beast TV. So it's twitch.tv/Daigo the Beast TV. I'm literally restreaming this right now. And again, as Philomath Shadow keeps putting in here, this is the beginner English restream here. I guess there is no English restream, so I guess I am the English restream. But, you know, I'm trying to gear it more towards beginners. To give it a different kind of audience, a different purpose than just the standard commentary. And so right now, Infexious. See, he's making such good use out of that heavy kick, and see no anti-airs from Punk again. I feel like Punk, and look at this. Infection is controlling that space so well. This is wild to me. It's actually almost kind of baffling to me how much Infectious is, just reading the right times to jump, knowing when to get that standing heavy kick in there, and see Punk. He dashed in there. Now he's just cooking. It's a Zeku barbecue here, but he's willing to take that damage. Okay, there's the anti-air. There we go. That should kill right there. And he's going to spend the meter for that, so he's not going to have any resources going into the next round, which is kind of an indication that Punk's like, I just need to take this. I just need to take this now. Yeah.
Because Infectious has a full bar critical art. Yeah.
So does the Molotov take resources, or is that something he could be throwing out more often just as a space control?
That's the V trigger.
Okay, gotcha.
So all the characters have the V trigger that they can activate, with the red bar that you see at the bottom of the screen above the super meter.
I just haven't seen much poison, so I wasn't sure what.
Yeah. No, that is her V trigger 1. That is her V trigger 1 that she gets access to that. And so I mean, if Punk loses this, he's
this is a very crucial.
I would like to see Punk get a little bit of momentum here, but he's kind of playing into Infectious's game. You see, Infectious is just kind of chilling back there, throwing out those grams, but Punk did read the forward movement from Infectious there, and again, was able to tech that. So, one of the things I had talked about before in footsies, one of the most important things to do is to make sure you move forward. Now, poison is plus when she pulls you in on that whip. And so it's her turn to put the mix-up on you.
Oh, okay.
But Infectious was like, I'm just going to throw out my invincible EX uppercut and steal my turn, basically.
Just break Punk's momentum.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Not even damage, but just like break its strength.
Ooh,
that's big.
God. And that should do it right there. And the whiff punishing. So, like I said, all the fundamentals right now of Street Fighter in terms of whiff punishing, in terms of baiting out the whiff throws and finding the timing to hit the buttons, honestly, it just really is that Infectious is just out fundamentaling Punk. And it's really interesting because I've been doing the first attack series where I've been teaching a lot of the fighting game, like the very basic fundamentals of footsies. And a lot of see, what was that about? That had to have been an execution error. He's not using the flip kicks. It really feels like a lot of character unfamiliarity with me, just from watching this. I don't feel like he has a control over what Poison does as a character that he would using a lot of the other characters. But the thing about it is, a lot of the fundamental things about footsies is really just, I feel like Infectious is just doing better. He's finding the right times to move forward, the right times to hit buttons. Okay, this should be death. This should be death here. And maybe Punk just needs to have his back to the wall,
To kind of wake him up, huh?
Let's see what happens now. So you can see, so what's happening is Infectious is controlling the spacing, right? So he's controlling the distance, the maximized distance for using the gram to win the neutral. Punk, though, read that this round, he hasn't been reading it this round, and he jumped in and ended up getting the punish off of that. And what was good about Punk right there is he was building up a lot of the gray damage health. And so Punk is actually going to take this game. So whenever you block those heavy attacks, you're just taking gray health damage little by little. And if you get hit, all that gray health goes away.
Becomes red health. Right?
Yeah, it just goes away. You lose all that health. Okay. So that's 9-2.
Okay, is he woken up?
I love the zoom in.
Yeah, the zoom. The zoom.
Saw a little gulp from Punk too. It looked like, oh man. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were saying that this was going to be something that Punk was probably going to win for free. Okay, see, and you have to treat the grams that he's throwing out. They're basically fireballs.
Oh, okay.
And so if you treat them like fireballs, your goal is to try to jump in on the fireball and hit them out of the recovery. Problem is, Punk has been jumping in just a little too late and just getting anti-air to every single time. And you see immediately Infectious keeps backing off to the range where those grams are the most effective. He switched to young Zeku because I think he just wanted the wall jump to get out of the corner, and he's looking for an opportunity to switch back to old Zeku again.
So he breaks like the jump in if the grams like still hit, but it's harder to jump in on that. Right?
You mean switching to young Zeku?
When he was throwing out those gram swords, like fireballs, right?
Yeah. So he's just using it to chip away at Punk's life and hope to get Punk to feel uncomfortable losing all of that health.
Great health, right?
Yeah. Okay. See Punk walking forward. Oh, he read the timing. So walk, stop, and then slide. And he just read that timing with the slide. And that slide is very not safe on block, too. But here we go. This is it.
Okay,
this is exhibition point for
exhibition
Infectious.
point.
This is crazy.
Gosh, so lopsided.
Yeah, I know. I would have never have guessed it to end up like this.
All right, so let's go see if Punk can bring it back.
Yeah.
Come on, there's always though.
But again, the spacing is so important because Zeku has such good control over the space with the gram. You see Infectious always trying to jump to that specific distance. So Punk is going to try to use that opposite seat back there, but now he switched to young Zeku again. So maybe young Zeku is I need to make the comeback mode. Okay, no anti-air on the jump. But again, hard to anti-air from that range unless he just does the raw quarter circle forward plus kick. He can use that as an anti-air, but I haven't seen Punk use that a lot as anti-air. And look at this. Punk has lost a ton of damage and spent his V meter on the V reversal, so he's not going to have access to those Molotov cocktails anytime soon. So he's just V reversaling, trying to build up that gray health.
And then
Try to...
okay.
Oh, he just blocked that jump in just in time. Okay.
Punk's still alive.
And that's the whole thing is you have to be able to throw out the buttons at the right timing to stop the forward movement. And that's what Punk did right there. Caught Infectious moving forward, was able to hit confirm it off of the two lights into the quarter circle forward plus kick. And yeah, he's not going for the crouching medium punch into the V-Skill 2 mix-up either. He's just landing the crouching medium punch and then letting it rock. He's never done the flip afterwards, which is interesting. Huh. Okay, throw.
Ooh, this is big.
Yeah, it's going to be close to stun. It's going to get one more. Oh, no, he didn't cancel. But wake up. So he woke up with a low attack that was very slow, and he drops his combo right there. Again, the inexperience. But the reason why he woke up with the low is because that's an anti-shimmy button. Because the shimmy, you got to walk backwards. So you wake up with a crouching attack button to hit them in the legs while they're walking, walking backwards. Yeah. The shimmy is a powerful tool, but that is the weakness of it. And that's it. Into the critical art.
Will that kill?
Yeah, that is definitely going to kill. And so that, in that situation there, what Infectious did, and I talked about it, this is the heart aspect of fighting games, is you have to just have such a strong understanding of how nervous the opponent is. Right, so in the last game, when Punk took that round, remember I said he hit buttons to stop Infectious's forward movement.
Yeah.
So Infectious walked forward and walked a specific distance, and Punk jabbed him and hit him in time and was able to kill him off of that. That last round right there, Infectious absolutely remembered that. And that's the thing, is as a fighting game player, you have to remember those things. So this time, what he did was he walked forward, walked just slightly less because he's realized he's gotten a measure on what Punk's reaction is. And stopped a little early and then hit crouching medium punch. And then Punk hit the crouching light punch to stop the forward movement again, but it was too late because it was too late because Infexious had already hit his button, and he hit it at just the right timing that he would catch Punk out of it, and then able to combo off of that. And a lot of that is just having an understand of the read and the timing of just walking forward and going, now.
Okay, what past behavior has my opponent done? And they're going to do that situation. All right, I'm going to counter it with this, right?
Right. And let's turn the volume. Let's go and listen to it.
Infectious is.
Yeah, it's quiet on their end, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Punks is going to say about this. Oops, sorry. Yeah, their volume is really low, so I apologize here. So.
両者の対戦は初めてということだったんですけど、実際に対戦してみた
Yeah, it was another wash in the first attempt in the fighting game matchups.
Between each other, but since you played right now, how was the match?
I think the match was very good. I think Infexious played very great. The things that he did, I knew he would do, but for some reason I didn't go with my strategy completely. So I'm kind of upset with that, but I think I started to play a bit better towards the end. So I'm still pretty happy overall, but I think Infexious just played really great.
Oh, that's very gracious. That's gracious.
Infexious がすごくうまかったと思います。作戦や戦略で通じなかった。
Yeah, he started, like I said, getting a better read on Infectious's timing.
Yeah.
And you could see that towards the end, but unfortunately, I think it was just too late.
そこまで後悔はしていないですが、Infexious がすごくいい試合をしていたと思います。
ありがとうございます。あ、じゃあ2人とも日本に来てくれてありがとう。
Thank you so much for coming to Japan.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't ask him why he picked Poison.
When are we getting H and K?
Yeah.
Oh man.
There you go. Like I said, I mean, I almost kind of, like, if the match was longer, I feel like I could have had more insight.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get to cover a lot of questions and talk about a little bit more of the strategy. It really just came down to Infectious was kind of out fundamentaling Punk.
Yeah. But that's good. I mean, you got to see like how these basic kind of things affect play, like right?
So, but I mean, I hope people did enjoy kind of, you know, me doing a different kind of thing, you know, explaining things a little bit more.
Especially
and
being here. Was
And again, thank you guys for being here and helping with the Battle Garega stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was awesome.
Again, if you ever want to do more shmup stuff, you know, hit us up.
Okay. I mean, this was me and trying to find time for more Tetris as well.
I know it's hard.
Man. Yeah, I know. I could do that at some point, fish tacos, but man. Yeah, I'm wondering even if, like, from this, Daigo himself is almost kind of like sad about this, or is he happy because, you know, CyGames Beast sponsors Infexious, right? So he's like,
It might be good because like these are like questions that people have had, and now this is Kemonomichi's like a forum where this can be answered like kind of definitively. Yeah. And outside of a tournament situation, right? A lot of first to 10s, a lot of like first to 15s, like where you can see, all right, let's answer this question.
Well, thank you for that, Shobu James. You know, as you can see, I've got a sub goal. It's actually been doing really, really well, but you know, the more subs I get, the more I can keep doing this, the more I can keep. And if I can hire an editor, I would have more time to play shmups at night instead of editing all night. So.
Well, kudos to you. Yeah. Get more shmups for James, you know. More subs equals more shmups.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for having us on here.
Yeah,
I really
no
appreciate
problem.
it. This was what a
Yeah, thank you. Like I said,
be out here.
thank you guys for coming out here, because honestly, the I mean, obviously, with, you know, the two kind of lopsided exhibitions here, the Battle Garega stuff, I think actually kind of was the highlight here. And honestly, like, a lot of the information that you were giving, you know, was just, it was such a good, I did not know that a shoot 'em up was going to be that detailed in, like, the craziness that can happen.
I think a lot of people are really surprised how much depth there is in a lot of these games. I mean, that was really... I don't want to speak for you or Outpost,
go for
but
it. Yeah.
that was one of the things that impressed me so much when I started with SG Weekly was, like, we were trying to kind of share some of that knowledge. Like the point of the show was to show high-level replay, but also, like, explain what's going on in it.
Right.
Because often there's so much more than it looks like just at the surface levels. I mean, it's not like, honestly, it's a lot like watching fighting games. Like, when you're watching at a low level, it's just like people walking back and forth, punching each other. But when you actually understand, like, what they're doing, what neutral is, it becomes a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I hated watching Street Fighter V for a really long time until I started playing fighting games more. And now I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
Because, like, I get it. I still don't play the game, but I understand.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense all of a sudden. And, I mean, that's just the thing is, like, you know, like I said, like, when I was younger, I was always like, I would make my own shoot. I wanted to make my own shoot 'em up. I never thought about, like, okay, if you shoot it in this order, you get this thing, and then, you know, oh, here's the secret power-up, and here's all... Like, it's crazy to me how much thought and detail that, you know, Yagawa put into that game, and I can see why, even to this day, it's, like, considered, like... one of the gold standards of shoot 'em ups. I mean, in terms of, like, the pantheon, you know how, like, you know, you talk about movies, you know, everyone's gonna be like, oh, Godfather, two greatest movies of all time, you know, like Citizen Kane, you know, or even Shawshank Redemption on IMDb's list and everything. You know, is that kind of where Battle Garega kind of stands in terms of the shoot 'em up community, in terms of the shmup community?
I think that's the kind of reputation it has. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little interesting. I mean, every year there's on the Shmups forum, which is kind of the Western hub for shoot 'em up stuff. There's an annual, like, best shmup of all time vote competition thing, and that usually takes a couple weeks to tally the votes. And such. For many years, Garega has been you know, first or second in that competition.
Okay, nice.
And that's why, even though it's difficult, you can play it and still appreciate it.
Right.
You know?
But I mean, what's usually in the running against it?
It depends. Honestly, it varies a little bit. Like, what else is up there?
Yeah.
But usually you'll see, like, Yoshihime-sama Futari will be up there.
Okay.
Doronpachi Gaiojo will usually be up there.
Okay.
Ketsui will usually be up there.
Why
sometimes
wouldn't
like
Ikaruga be up there? It's clearly the greatest shooter. No, just kidding.
But I mean, you bring up an interesting point though about like Garega has a reputation for being very difficult.
Yeah.
And I think it's true, but it's also not true. Like, I think it's a much better game for beginners than most people would give it credit for, because even though there's all of these, like, obscure systems with it, it's also a game that grows with you and will only challenge you as much as you are able to prove that you're able to play it.
Yeah, because I mean, that kind of idea of making shooters harder based on you living longer has been around for a while. Because even Xevious did that, right?
There's tons of games that do it, but no other game does it. Well, no other non-Yagawa game does it in quite the same way.
Okay.
Because he has a couple other games in the same sort of series, and there's even, like I said, a spiritual successor in Ibarra. And they have some of that same flavor.
Okay. Vampire Savior at Combo Breaker? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's there, I will absolutely want to do commentary for it. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, right now, all of the events are kind of up in the air. It's kind of rough right now. And yes, Aeronax, for those people on stream who aren't aware, like the last 2 Fridays, I have a stream schedule now. You can see a little bit of information on it if you scroll down. But on Fridays at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Oh, I guess that's it for them.
Bye, Daigo. Bye, Kemonomichi.
But what I do is I have a stream on Friday where I have my viewers play against each other, and I ask for beginners to play against each other. Then I analyze their gameplay and give them tips based on what I saw.
That's cool.
And what's actually crazy about it too is that, you know, I'm like, yeah, we'll get a few matches in there. Like last Friday, like I had 1 match, and then I spent 2 hours like giving advice, and then I was like, I'm out of time. So I have to figure that out.
The well-rinsed.
Yeah, I have to figure this out, how to do it right.
Yeah.
So I don't just spend the whole time doing that, but so I can get more people to play and get more people advice. But that is something that I do on Mondays. I stream and basically I just play in lobbies myself, so I can learn games myself. On Thursdays I do the first attack stream, which is where I have the slides and I just it's like a classroom. I just teach you how to play fighting games and. This last weekend, my whole episode was about spacing and ranges, and I used the Super Turbo Ryu versus Guile, because I had been saying for years that I've always wanted to talk about that matchup.
Okay.
And then I was like, wait, I can use that to demonstrate ranges and spacing. And then they announced Kemonomichi 3, and it was like, it was going to be that match. And I was like, I have to do this week.
Destiny.
I have to
do
do
this now.
this
It was
week.
Destiny.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh, Senko no Ron and Twinkle Star would be great at Evo.
Yeah.
Like I said, I played a little bit of
Spell.
Senko no Rande, and I played it because I was like, dude, a versus shooter would be kind of
Yeah.
nice.
That'd be kinda neat to
What was
watch.
the other one? There was the other one.
It was like Rival Mega Gun.
There was also the one that was like something Force, or there was, oh gosh, again, I don't know if my friend is still in the chat
Yeah,
because
maybe you know.
I always forget the name of that game. I always forget the name of that. Psychic Force. Thank you. That was kind of like that,
Shelby
but
for
not
the
as
win.
much. Not as much. So there you go. Let me go ahead and turn off the restream here. There we go. So back to this camera here.
And they're interested with more STG. Whoa.
Yeah. Ooh.
Which one? What's going on here?
Oh, apparently Tsumige is saying that on the Kemonomichi stream they were saying they're looking for people who can beat Kotaka or Infexious, and they're interested with more STG.
Ah,
So
okay.
that would be super cool.
Let's
Yeah.
do that. Let's
Yeah.
get that, and then I'll have you guys back
Yeah,
on here
next
again.
one we'll
Yeah,
have
there
you
you
back
go.
if you're
So you
about
can
Kemonomichi 4.
Tell
Let's
me
see if you
all
can
the
play
stuff that's going on, and like I said, that's one of the things that excites me personally because it is a genre that obviously you can't play every video game, but
Yeah.
my heart started with shmups a long time ago, and obviously I knew the scene existed. I didn't know, like I said, Fightcade Offline kind of gave me an insight into it, but just seeing you guys here, and you guys have a weekly show that you guys are doing all the time for it, and just how much you guys are playing, that more people need to play this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And according to Midori Kyo, says Daigo and Aru said everything Infectious did is super weird, and they don't know how it worked out. What do you think? Yeah. So like I said, that's the thing is like normally when I analyze these matches, I can be like, okay, so this is what's happening, but like literally, I'm just sitting here going like, he just hit buttons at the right time, and he just chose when to move forward at the right time.
I think maybe like the angles that you were talking about, that Zeku kind of talked about. Oh, he would do an EX like Bushin flip to go to the backside, and that was a mix up.
And what's interesting about that is that's the obvious answer, right? I mean, I'm not saying I'm saying that's what you see, but a lot of times that gets set up because he hit the sweep at just the right time to get the crush counter. A lot of times you see the mix up, but it's interesting because a lot of times the mix ups can't happen if you don't win the neutral to get that advantageous position. And so when you look at those mix ups, you're like, oh my gosh, that was a sick mix up. But the real question is, how did he get into that position? And a lot of the times it really was just Infectious was like, no, I'm going to hit roundhouse right now. And that's right when Punk hit a button and then the crush counter. And then
so you would say, see the actions before that mix up happens.
Yeah,
Like there's
so-
another interaction that would be more
right.
telling.
So like I said earlier, blocking a jump in, a lot of people are like, oh, I blocked the jump in, and then they'll die. And they won't recognize that it was blocking the jump in that killed them. Because after you block the jump in, you're in so many minus frames, and the guy's right next to you, and now they can play whatever mix-up they want against you. And even if you survive a couple of those pokes, you're like, okay, cool, but they got in.
Okay.
They're in there, so you block something, you're like, oh, I'm safe now, but
I'll
they're
press
close
the button.
enough that you're like, okay, now I'll do something, and you get hit there. And then you're like, oh, well, he got me in that stupid mix-up there. But that all came from the fact that he got in the first place from
Put you
the
in
jump.
hit stun and threw off your timing.
Yeah,
Right?
and just put you in a position where you have to deal with the mix-up. I was teaching a lesson that was the flow chart that I'm trying to give everybody
cool.
in a fighting game is the neutral. You gain advantage, you apply your mix-up, and if it hits, you go into a combo. And then you get something called okazeme, which is you try to keep the pressure going after you knock them down, right? So, but the neutral, that's it, right? It's all about this neutral and playing it. And then when you win the neutral, and winning the neutral could be walking them to the corner, could be landing a jump in.
So it's not necessarily hitting them and doing damage.
Right. And in fact, a lot of the times winning neutral can involve you taking damage too. You have, like, one of my favorite matches from a long time ago in one of the old games, and hyper fighting back in the days was Zangief versus Guile, which is a terrible matchup for Zangief. But I just walk and blocked like 17 sonic booms in a row. And if I could pressure the Guile to walk backwards just enough, they would end up in the corner, and now they can't do anything. So I just took all this damage, blocking all these sonic booms, but I won because I got him in the corner. They might not realize that, and now I have the ability to apply better pressure because they don't know how to. They can't walk backwards anymore. So it's
because you would have their life lead would be so huge, but then they thought they were winning.
Right, but the trickiest part is that once you get someone in the corner, you can really steamroll someone to death, especially in a game like Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V, you get someone in the corner, you knock them down, and then they're just in a constant mix-up, every time you knock them down. So, but yeah, I really do believe that Grega was clearly the highlight this stream. And honestly, I feel like you guys had a lot to do with that. Honestly, you guys had a big part of that, because otherwise I would have been just sitting here going, ooh, wow, I can't believe she lived, but the fact that you were able to explain like all the crazy stuff, and where the this is the really annoying part, or this is why they're doing it, was really, really good. So the SD exhibition was very good as well. But I mean, man, that was just Kotaka Shoten, just wow, looking crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy. So HD Remix, you're asking me Fish Tacos tonight? Don't get me to talk about HD Remix, please, unless you're talking about Street Fighter 2. Which Street Fighter 2 HD? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. If you're talking about HD Remix, which is Super Turbo, okay, so you are talking about HD Remix. Don't get me to talk about HD Remix.
You have to subscribe to the Patreon and then get the subscriber-only content.
All I will say is I am not a fan. I won't get into it. I won't get into it because I won't get into it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Very, very. I have very. It's like a lot of objective reasons and a lot of subjective reasons too. So. But that's the thing. So what's the interesting about it, what I want a lot of people also to realize, is Punk picking Poison wasn't necessarily a sandbagging kind of thing. Because when you want to learn a new character, a lot of times you have to play that character and put yourself in those pressure situations, right? And so, we saw that at DreamHack Anaheim recently, where Stupendous, who's a Geef player, was just playing Seth the whole entire time. Seth is a brand new character that just came out. And the reason why you do that is because it's so easy to be like, oh, I'm not winning, let me switch to my main character. But if you don't play that character in those pressure kind of situations, you won't actually learn that character. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you have to have the ability to get in those pressure situations, to have the instant recall of, I should do this in this situation, I should do that. And so I think that was kind of one of the reasons why Punk did that. But unfortunately, it didn't make for a great exhibition for a lot of the viewers out there. So...
Yeah, you have to realize these are the pro players are going through this evolution, and they're trying to challenge themselves to try different things, and sometimes it doesn't always work out,
Yeah.
and
actually,
they take that risk.
Death God, Punk did use EX heart rate a bunch of times, but what was interesting is that Infexious just jumped away or backdashed a lot, and Punk didn't seem he had an answer to stop that, and that comes down to I feel like the character inexperience, because a lot of times when you use the EX heart rate, you suck them in and you're +2. So I have this advantage situation, and you go for the standard, Street Fighter mix-up. Well, Infectious was jumping away from it, so he was not playing the standard Street Fighter rock, paper, scissors, but he was using a different option that is still also very punishable. But Punk just didn't seem like he was... if they're going to jump and you're +2, you do a low move because then you hit them in their legs because they're trying to up back. I didn't see Punk going to that option. It's just I felt like he didn't have the experience in all the situations. And so, yeah, it could have been a learning experience for Punk, but, you know, for all of us, you know, who are watching it, you know, it's like he flew to Japan, it's Kemonomichi, you know, here we go. It is kind of a disappointment, you know, it's disappointing for a lot of us, but, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, by the time we reach Evo, Punk is killing everybody with poison, you know, and this probably is part of the learning process for him. So there you go.
Well, and what better motivation, right?
Yeah.
Like get the run back after something like that.
Exactly. So watch him and Infexious end up playing each other again at Evo, and then all of a sudden he picks poison on him and then just like destroys him or something.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, but I mean, Punk has tried to play a lot of different characters. Oh, she's like,
I was like, oh my gosh.
She's like, you know, he tried Cammy at one point during season 3 when Cammy was really strong, and his success just wasn't strong even there too. It was still that it would have been better. He still had better success with Karen, so he just has that kind of magical connection with that character. But yeah, it's unfortunate. But I hope people enjoyed that, though. I hope people enjoyed the restream here and everything like that. Again, if you guys would like to see more restream, God, don't make me do an Unchensored on HD remix. The story that I will tell is that one of my coworkers, who was, you know, tangentially interested in fighting games, came to my desk one time and he's like, "So what don't you like about HD remix?" And then like 2.5 hours later, he was able to escape.
Wow.
So yeah, that's so. If you guys want, hey, look. You know, maybe I'll make that a subscription goal. If I get up to 500 subs, I'll do my Unchensored on HD remix.
You have to earn it to be.
There you go.
Oh man,
you should do that.
That would be bad. That would be bad because, like I said, I'm just gonna have. I'm the person who did HD remix, and I already have basically a terrible relationship now because of the fact that I hate that game so much. So. Anyways, okay. Yeah, I know. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for hearing. Again, shout outs to Frennig and Soft Drink.
Yep.
Thank you very much for coming on here.
Thank you so much for having us.
See y'all later.
Yeah, and have a good time, everybody. And I'll see you guys soon here on the Chensor Dynasty. Peace out.